All right. All right. It's 4:01 and we'll call the meeting to order. Ms. Gibbons, would you like to lead us today for the flag salute?
Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call. Let it be known that all 5 trustees are present. Ms. Givens, Mr. Williams, Mr. Yeasless, Mr. Perea, and myself, Mr. Heldreth. Next, we'll go to business from the floor. The board meeting is a business meeting of the board held in a public forum to comply with the Brown Act. It is not a town hall meeting with the board. This is the time for citizens to present problems or questions they feel the board should discuss. Individuals are encouraged to address the full board, not individual board members. The law prohibits the board from taking action on items not on the agenda. Request to speak cards should be filled out in advance and presented to the superintendent's executive assistant. Instructions for submitting remote public comments can be found on our website, busdk12.com, under the tab Board of Trustees. The board has a policy limiting any speaker to not more than 3 minutes. The board limits the total time for public input on each item or topic to 15 minutes or 5 individual requests to speak. The president may review the submitted request to speak, or take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue, and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Citizens who have comments on or against a particular issue may be asked to provide a written statement for the record or to sign an agreement with the written comments of another citizen. All names will be memorialized in minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation depending on the topic and number of persons wishing to be heard. For the record, please state your name.
No, this time.
All righty. Then it is 4:03 and we'll adjourn to closed session.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight in the orbit of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Mission 41D, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
looking down on me. The world above must also be. This could go on for infinity. Color coded just to keep me sane. My world is finally starting to take shape. I press the button and it bursts into life. This time nothing will escape my sight. I see the stars and the planets soon follow. Expect to have the universe by tomorrow. Just sit back and relax, don't worry. The world can wait. No need to hurry.
It is 5:09 and we will reconvene. The board did not take any action during closed session. And trustee Gibbons had a personal matter that she needed to tend to. So we now have 4 trustees present for the remainder of the meeting. At this point, I will turn it over to the superintendent for presentation and recognitions.
Yes, we have Cameron Elementary student presentation. Who's here for Cameron? Well, come on up. So you can see the board and face this way. Face this way. This way. You need to talk to these 4 people right here. Okay, who's starting? Oh, first up, okay. You're up. Whenever you're ready.
Good evening, Barstow Unified Board members, representatives, staff, and parents. Thank you for having us here tonight to talk to you about our school, Cameron Elementary. We are as ASB members to represent the Cameron Kids students and teachers to talk to you about what makes our school the best. We have a lot going on this year, starting with our theme. This year, Cameron Kids are working together to unlock the power of storytelling through reading, writing, art, and technology. My name is Hazel.
My name is Cynthia. My name is Isaiah. My name is Dawson. My name is Zayla. My name is Alex. At the beginning of the year, we kicked off our year by learning about all of the expectations around campus in order to become a Cameron Kids Next. As nice, we know what is expected of us and are ready to keep our kingdom safe and welcoming for everyone to be able to learn and grow by showing our 9 qualities of kindness, integrity, determination, and support. Our Cameron Kids have earned more than 2,000 breaks of cuts as we work for positive behaviors. Most recently, we have been learning to stop, breathe, and look around for support rather than reacting without thinking in a negative way when we get frustrated. We're learning that it's okay to get upset, but the way we react, that feeling, it's what's important. We're learning to pause what we're doing, take a deep breath, and look for an adult that can help us solve the problem. This works very well because there are so many adults around our campus that are always able to help us. Everyone on our campus, from teachers to other students, work together and support each other to help us all make choices, to help us learn all getting in trouble. As we're working together to unlock the power of storytelling this year, our school has a focus on literacy. Every morning from 9 to 10, each grade level splits into literacy groups and works with a teacher to strengthen our phonics reading and writing skills. So far, it's working very well. We are all showing growth and becoming better readers one day at a time. We are also practicing our reading log at home and logging it on our treasure reading log. For every 300 minutes we read, we can prizes like bookmarks and books from our very own book vending machine designed with our school logo, mascot, and motto. And a few weeks ago, we all went to an assembly about reading. It was a laser show where we all worked together to create stories and learned about being avid readers who ask, visualize, interpret, and decide as we read and write. Since we started school, we've had a lot of fun events and even more planned for the rest of the year. We had back to school water day where we got to have fun in the sprinkler with friends and then enjoy a popsicle. We've had family game night where our families got to join us to play giant games around the school and buy a snow cone from the Kona ice truck. ASB set up games for our kids to play at lunchtime. We've had some assemblies to help us learn to be avid readers and how to shine by being special, honest, inspiring, nice, and enjoying learning. Throughout the rest of the year, we have more assemblies, more lunch games, school dances, and many more opportunities for families to join us in both learning and having fun. We would like to invite you to our school on October 29th from 5 to 6 p.m. for our next family night.
It will be trick or treat, and ASB will have a haunted house fundraiser with a theme of haunted fairy tale forest. ASB will also have fall snacks like popcorn, caramel apples, and hot chocolate too. We would also like to invite you to our school on October 31st when we have a lot of activities happening. At 8:45, we will have our annual costume parade, and then at lunchtime, starting at 11, we will have our first lunch on the lawn with games set up for families and kids to play.
We have a lot coming up that we are excited about to help us continue to learn and grow as Cameron Kids Nights that work together to unlock the power of storytelling through reading, writing, arts, and technology.
Cameron Kids lead through kindness, integrity, determination, and support.
Wow. Who do you have here with you from Cameron Elementary School as the adult? Who's here with you? Do you know?
Miss Saplet.
Miss Sablet is back. All right. Thank you, Miss Sablet. Thank you, boys and girls. Nicely done. Nicely done. You can go ahead and have a seat. CRPBS. All right. So we have some recognitions to do. Where are the?
They're in the front.
Oh. So we have 9 schools that were recognized for their amazing work on CRPBIS. And we are here to recognize them today at Barstow Unified School District because they were originally recognized out in Apple Valley at the Desert Mountain SELPA. And so we want to make sure that we recognize them here today. So let's see. I want to do, are they in order? Let's see. We're going to go with, I think I'll start with silver. Or should? Silver. Silver. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about it.
Okay. Henderson Elementary School received silver award recognition. Miss Miller, if you want to come on up. Remember them all. Henderson's CRPBIS, responsible, respectful, and safe. So congratulations. Good job. Good job. And we were there the night that they received their awards. So come on in. All right. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Barstow Intermediate School received silver recognition as well. Julie, Ms. Malden, let's see. Your CRPBIS, self-control, on task, achievement, and respect. Right. So congratulations, Ms. Julie. I know you were there that night. Ms. Malden,
Thank you.
Congratulations. You want to come on over here?
Do we have room? Can we move this way?
Oh, yeah.
Camera.
I centered. Yeah, don't get centered and then I get told I need to.
Here we go. 1, 2. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Barstow High School. Anyone here from Barstow High School? Okay. So Barstow High School. Silver Implementation Award, so we'll make sure that Mr. Navarro receives his poster. And let's see, we've got Barstow STEM Academy. They also received the Silver Implementation Award. Congratulations. All right, there you go.
Thank you.
All right. And Barstow Fine Arts Academy received Silver Implementation Award. And we'll make sure that Miss Davis gets her poster. So I'll do gold next. Dr. Williams. Skyline North Elementary School received Gold Implementation Award as well. Make sure that Mr. Banks gets his poster. Lenwood Elementary School. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Good job.
Okay, you can hide behind it.
All right. Montera Elementary School received Gold Implementation Award. Was that not all of them? And last, but certainly not least, is Cameron Elementary School receiving platinum. Mr. Leslie, do I have this correct? Third year in a row? Yes. Third year in a row. Yep, right here in the middle. I got to get everybody. Congratulations. Good work. Good work. Good work. Congratulations. All right. I'm going to give that to Sarah. I'm gonna send it Okay. I am looking for Miss Barella. We have a special recognition for Miss Shanda Barella, who is our teacher on assignment in charge of CRPBIS, and she's the one who is kind of the backbone to all the work that our schools are doing. So we have a special recognition for her. Difference maker, thank you for being such an important piece in our team. And it's actually a little puzzle piece just for you. Good job. All right. Thank you. Here, let me get a box right now. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, job well done by all of us. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Next, we have a presentation from CCEE, SPCSS, and the DTA team presentation. Let's give the families just a second. I think they're gonna. No worries. Go ahead. Okay. And we have Miss Jenny Wright here from CCEE to present to the board.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Jenny Wright. I'm a senior advisor with CCEE, which stands for the California Collaborative for Educational Excellence. Our presentation overview for today, I'm going to try to keep it as brief as I can, but going to take you on a journey of Barstow Unified through the California statewide system of support, then walk you through some data on just the current reality of Barstow, highlight some areas of focus, and then some next steps and recommendations. So I'll start with, if you want to advance the slides. So CCEE, California Collaborative for Educational Excellence, is a statewide leader with a mission to deliver California's promise of a quality, equitable education for every student. Our vision is to transform public education so every student is inspired and prepared to thrive as their best self in the world. If you could go to the system of support slide. Next slide. So the statewide system of support is highlighted in front of you. There are multiple levels to the statewide system of support, much like tiered intervention in the classroom. There is tiered intervention to support school districts across the state. Level 1 is universal supports. Those are open and available to any school district across the entire state of California. Level 2 is what we call differentiated assistance. That is when we have at least one student group that is not performing in areas whether that's achievement, chronic absenteeism. It goes into differentiated assistance. Level 3 is direct technical assistance. That is at this time the most intensive level of intervention in the California statewide system of support. And if you advance to the next slide, direct technical assistance is Ed Code 52072, and I will not bore you with all the details around the Ed Code specifically, but essentially what direct technical assistance is that you have at least 3 student groups that have been in the red in at least 2 LCFF priority areas for 3 out of 4 consecutive years. Presently, we are still operating from years 2019 to 2024 are the 4 consecutive years that we are looking at because of the COVID gap. And the dashboard for 2025 does not get released until, I believe, almost exactly 1 month from today. So when we look at Barstow's journey and we think back to the introduction of Common Core in CASP, Barstow became eligible for differentiated assistance in 2017. That was when San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools began providing differentiated assistance support to Barstow Unified at that time. We know we had a break, and we know that COVID happened, and we could spend all night on all the things that happened during COVID. But one of our next big was in 2021. We had the stipulated judgment that was passed down from the California Attorney General. Barstow was then initially identified and became eligible for direct technical assistance in 2022. In 2023, there was a superintendent transition. And in 2024 is when CCEE began its partnership with San Bernardino County and Barstow Unified. The gap between the original identification in 2022 and the partnership in 2024, when Barstow first became eligible in 2022, the Ed Code was actually written differently. And at that time, in order to partner with CCEE, it would have required a joint referral from the district and the county. And at that time, that was not the path chosen. The Ed Code language changed. Barstow remained eligible in all of those years. And at that time, in winter of 2024, we moved forward with partnering with Barstow in direct technical assistance. So what does direct technical assistance look like? Again, we also follow a universal targeted supplemental intensive. So there are different ways that we as CCEE can partner with a school district and a county office. Those levels or the spectrum of support we call collaborative planning, collaborative facilitation, or embedded partnership is the most intensive level of support that we offer with CCEE. So you then will wonder, what is the role of CCEE in each of these? So we are partnered in a collaborative facilitation with Barstow Unified and San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools. The role of CCEE in that partnership is to be a coach, to be a thought partner. We co-facilitate improvement sessions with the county, and we remain in close partnership with the county through all of the improvement efforts. The slide that you're looking at is now how Barstow became eligible for direct technical assistance. So Barstow Unified presently has 7 different student groups that are eligible for direct technical assistance, meaning 7 student groups in Barstow for 3 out of 4 consecutive years have had at least 2 LCFF priority areas where they have been in the red. You will see the acronym. So PA stands for pupil achievement. That's performance in ELA and math. PE is pupil engagement. That is chronic absenteeism and graduation rates. School climate is SC. That is suspensions and expulsions. And then BC is a broad course of study, and that is the college and career index. So as you look at, I included 2018 in this simply for you to see that 2022 is the initial eligibility year. So when we look at it, we had a number of groups that were eligible in 18, 19, 22 was the year they became eligible. 23, we had some slight improvements on the dashboard. And then last year, 6 of the 7 were eligible again. So right now, 7 are meeting that 3 out of 4 criteria. So we'll take a deeper dive into some of the data. The CASP scores were just released last Thursday for the 24-25 school year. So we'll go back to 2017-18 when we first entered into differentiated assistance. So here is a comparison of Barstow Unified against the California state average. So back in 2017-18, the ELA percent met or exceeded was at 31%, while the state was at 50%. As you look through the years, what you will see as a trend is that the state went up. Obviously, we declined after COVID, but the state has been recovering and slowly increased. They had about 1.5%, 2% gain over the entire state. Barstow has been trending down in every year. So we're kind of going against the grain of what the state is doing when it comes to ELA and the percent of our students who are meeting or exceeding standard in English language arts. The next metric is distance from standard. We don't have the 2025 distance from standard yet. That will be released next month with the dashboard. But again, you will see a similar trend where the state is beginning to recover and making improvements, and Barstow has been seeing a steady decline in the distance from standard in English language arts since 2017. Next, you will see, I know these get really busy. I try to make them as simple as possible. What this highlights, again, we're still talking about English language arts. This is now the performance of the 7 different student groups that are eligible. So up there, the thick blue line is the district average, and the other lines represent the student groups that are eligible for direct technical assistance. So you can see in almost every case, apart from 2 or more races, that those student groups are performing even lower than the district average, which again is far below even what the state average is. And we have a long way to go in the state as well. Next, similarly, these are our student group performance in terms of distance from standard. Again, that thicker blue line is the district average distance from standard, and then each line represents the individual student groups that are eligible for direct technical assistance. So for example, you can see that our students with disabilities in 2024 are 157 points below 0, which is at grade level. Next, we move into math. So again, going back to 17-18, we have had a steady decline, little bit of a plateau in math in Barstow, where the state is beginning to recover over the last couple of post-COVID years. Barstow has seen a kind of a plateau in math that around 10% proficiency in math. Same in distance from standard. As the state is beginning to recover in their distance from standard in math, Barstow continues to see that plateau. So on average, we're about 126 points below grade level overall. When it comes to how the student groups are performing, again, that thick blue line, that is the district average. The other colors represent our seven student groups that are eligible for direct technical assistance. And this year, you can see our foster youth had a pretty significant increase, which is definitely something to explore. However, the majority of our eligible student groups are performing below the district average. Next slide is distance from standard, highlighting the same thing. Blue line being the district average. And again, it looks like students with disabilities is the lowest performing in math as well. They are roughly 190 points below distance from standard. Next is the suspension rate. So this is the district suspension rate. So Barstow is the light blue against the state average. So the state average has been holding pretty steady. Around 3 to 3.5% of students are suspended for at least one day. Barstow is been on the incline since COVID has ended, which is still an improvement over where they were at pre-COVID when we were at the 10% range. But unfortunately, over the last 3 years, we've seen an increase each year in the number of kids who are being suspended. When we look at the eligible student groups specific to their suspension rate, again, if the district average is 8.5, we are seeing our highest group, which is our African-American students, 15.6% of our African-American students are suspended for at least one day. Our students with disabilities, 12. So they're even significantly above the district average. Next, we look at our chronic absentee rates. So pre-COVID, we were, again, still about double what the state average was, which was around 9 or 10%. We know statewide, we saw a huge increase in chronic absenteeism post-COVID. We're beginning to recover from that. Barstow still remains quite high at about 45%, but we are starting to see some gains in chronic absenteeism across the district. When we look at our eligible student groups, again, thick blue line, the 45%, that's our district average. We have one of our groups, our English learners, actually have a better attendance rate than the district average. But when we look at our homeless youth, they are chronically absent, which means they're missing 10% of the school year, roughly 70%. And then our African-American is roughly 60% chronic absentee. Then we look at our graduation rates. Again, prior to the pandemic, we were at or above the state average in Barstow in graduation rates. Post-COVID, we have been slightly below the state average, and it's gone down a little bit. We're almost back to where we were in 2022, but still below the state average. And then when we look at, again, the student groups that are eligible, so our students with disabilities, only 65% of our students with disabilities are graduating. Our African-American, only 68% of them graduate. And we have almost all of them, apart from English learners, are below the district average. Our English learners are slightly above the district average at 87%. So that is just a very brief overview of the data that has made Barstow eligible for direct technical assistance. Those are the metrics that we look at. And again, we look at the 3 or 4 consecutive years. When the dashboard is released, we'll know what the status is for Barstow. So I won't try to make any conjectures of what that might look like just yet. So I want to highlight then, if you could go back one slide. So again, as I've said, we've been in partnership with the county office since we started the DTA journey in 2024. However, the county has provided a lot of support to Barstow over the years. Some of those highlights, they've provided professional development and supports to school sites in the areas of AVID. So they're supporting the high school, the middle school, and 2 of the elementary schools in AVID. They're facilitating AVID site team meetings. They provide professional learning around things like note-taking. I have coaching visits supporting the site coordinators, and they do the Wicker walkthroughs at all the AVID elementary schools and tutorial visits at all the secondary schools. And then they have quarterly AVID coordinator meetings. They also have supported with math. I'm supporting on building capacity in the revised math framework. That is this year at the secondary sites. They've developed a number sense course on Canvas to support the elementary schools asynchronously and supporting the launching of the course at Montera. And then supporting Barstow STEM and Barstow Intermediate with lesson design in math for new teachers. CCE has been providing support, again, in partnership with San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools. So we attend all of the DTA sessions. We have been wrapping around support in the SIM process, which is the compliance improvement monitoring. which is a function of special education and being identified as intensive level 3 through the California Department of Education in terms of how we are serving students with disabilities. So we've been wrapping around that process to see how we can integrate all of our support so it doesn't feel like you're getting pulled in a million different directions. And then we also have Superintendent Swearingen and Assistant Superintendent Godfrey that are participating in our statewide learning network. So we have one for superintendents and we have one for instructional leaders. We call it instructional leaders because they all have different titles, but it's essentially those folks who oversee educational services or instructional services. So they are both participating in our networks. Our superintendent network has about 18 superintendents from across the state of California, and our instructional leaders has about 18 or 20 instructional leaders from across the state. So it's a wonderful opportunity to learn from experts. They're facilitated by former assistant superintendents and assistant superintendents that were in the field for decades and are highly regarded, and they get coaching from those folks as well. So it's wonderful to have them a part of those networks this year. So as we think ahead, I love this image. It is grounded in improvement science. If you want to forward to the next one. So the quote is, "Every system is perfectly designed to achieve exactly the results it gets." So when we think about improvement, we think about the system. We don't think about specific people within the system, but rather how is the system designed, because it is designed to get what it gets. And so we're here to really help look at the entire system and how it serves all kids, particularly the 7 student groups that are eligible for direct technical assistance. The next one I want to highlight is an analogy by Atul Gawande, who's a healthcare professional. And he talks about this analogy of cowboys and pit crews. And that it used to be, and it still is in education and in the healthcare field, that we have trained people and operated as cowboys. Individuals who operate autonomously, doing what we need to do to get things done. And yet, in the complex world that we live in, we really need to operate as pit crews. Everybody has a role as a part of the system, and we are all interdependent upon one another to make the entire system function. And so what we want to do is really focus on moving Barstow from being cowboys to developing as a pit crew, where we all work interdependently in support of better student outcomes for kids. So I'll highlight 3 areas of focus for Barstow moving forward. The first one is to serve students to urgently meet their needs. It's evident in the data that I shared earlier that there is a need for students' needs to be met. They are not where they need to be. The second area of focus is to create and implement a multi-year professional learning plan to serve staff. And lastly is to develop a model in service of schools. How do we wrap around schools and support them to retain staff? So what are next steps? What can you as a board do? 1, prioritize student learning and academic outcomes for all students, but particularly for students furthest from opportunity. Support the development of a robust data culture that focuses on data literacy, integrity, systems, and monitoring. Support the development and implementation of a multi-year professional learning plan that emphasizes building capacity of teachers to collaborate around the use of data and high-quality instructional practices to meet the needs of all students. To align all the improvement plans, LCAP, single plan, SIM plan, there's the plandemic, to create coherent, sustainable improvement at each school site for each student. Provide a comprehensive service model for all schools in Barstow Unified to wrap district support for each school site, provide a clearer pipeline for talent, and ultimately retain staff. To support and encourage the development of instructional leaders across the district. And lastly, to investigate promising practices at several of the schools. Barstow High School has some of the highest rates of students meeting and exceeding standard in English language arts. So how is that happening? How do we learn from that? Montera and Cameron Elementary, over the course of the last 2 or 3 years since post-pandemic, have made gains and are approaching double-digit gains in ELA and have had double-digit gains in math. So investigate those promising practices to learn from their work and how that work might be able to be spread across the other schools in Barstow so that there is a plan for improvement. No one's expecting overnight success, but how do we move to a place where we stop going this way and we start to turn that curve and make some significant improvement for the kids for Barstow? So with that, thank you. And I will take any questions or comments.
Yes. Thank you very much for it's very eye-opening and mind-blowing. And I love the way you picked us back up because you put us in a hole and then you pulled us right back out. And thank you very much for doing that. And very good briefing, honest. I like that. I think our district knows which way they need to go. And I think we're moving in that direction. It's like a big ship. It's hard to turn sometimes. But thank you very much. And very informative. Thank you.
Is the majority of it, not to get too, I don't know, I guess in the weeds about it, but from CCEE and all of, from what I'm hearing and seeing is mostly planning and that end, or is any of it go directly into CCEE to where like with the teaching and directly to the teachers, or is it more to like administrator level and then system-based doing changes that way? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, so one, I mean, we work with many different school districts, so it looks different in every district because it's really about us meeting a district where they're at. In Barstow in specific, there is a team that we meet with that is representative across. So we have central office administrators, we have principals, we have teachers, we have classified staff that is really looking at the system to think about improvement. Our idea is always that the answers are in the room. And how do we bring that together and lift that up to do things more systematically and make those changes systemically for improvement?
Okay.
If we may, the DTA team is here in the room. So if you're on the DTA team, I would love for you to stand so the board can see you. These are all the people who work diligently to make this happen. Thank you. Any further questions for Dr. Wright?
One quick question. I just thought about that with Trustee Helters when he said that. How does the financial standing and with the uncertainty coming up, how does that play a major, and I'm assuming it does play a major role in all of this?
It depends. I mean, we're not sure exactly how it is. I actually think fiscally Barstow's in a pretty decent place right now. I've worked with folks that have actually said, you know, if we think about the last time we ran out of money, that was when they did their best work because they really had to turn internally and think about how they built the capacity of the workforce that they had. And they really banded together during that. So it's not, we don't always have to have this reliance on outside providers to come in and do the work for us. Like I said before, I think the answers are in the room. The people who know Barstow best are already here. And so how do we build their capacity to lift up the system as a whole?
So just so I'm understanding, it's like right now, basically with our team, we're coming up with the changes or the new adjustments to the system. And then all of those people, all of you will then integrate that and pass it out to all of the different. Okay.
Yeah. So this team will come up and we've been looking at the system to really understand, right? We've been focused on literacy and really trying to understand from a system perspective, what do we have around literacy? What are our systems, practices, policies around literacy? And our next phase is to move into understanding our literacy from the user perspective. So getting out and talking to teachers about where they think things are right now with literacy. And then we'll come up with a plan and some ideas of like, well, what should we do that we think, right? It's kind of like when you go to the doctor and they're like, I don't know, try this. We'll try this one first. And if that doesn't work, come back, right? It's very similar in education. We're going to figure out what exactly the problems are and then say, well, I think if we do this, that we might see some results, and we'll test that and ultimately find those things that are going to work here in Barstow specifically.
As far as timeline, is that more set by us or the team? Or as far as like when we could look at maybe like the first test or strategy, I guess?
Yeah, we're hoping we're almost there. We just met today and came up with our plan to go and again get to what we call getting proximal to the work. So getting and talking to the users of our system. And we'll meet again in about a month and find out what the users of our system have to say, and then start to think about, so what do we think we can do feasibly that might have an impact?
Thank you. And also thank you for all the information, just seconding what Mr. Williams said. Yeah, it's a lot, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. And I know some of you have travel to do. You're up here from San Bernardino and
Irvine.
So if we can give them a moment to leave the room if you would like to, so you can safely travel back home. And thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying.
All right. Next, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. First is for the special board meeting of July 25th, 2025. Does anybody need to abstain, or we all? Everybody's here? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. And next was for the regular board meeting of August 12th, 2025. Is everybody same? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next, we'll go to business from the floor. The board meeting is a business meeting of the board held in a public forum to comply with the Brown Act. It is not a town hall meeting with the board. This is the time for citizens to present problems or questions they feel the board should discuss. Individuals are encouraged to address the full board, not individual board members. The law prohibits the board from taking action on items not on the agenda. Request to speak cards should be filled out in advance and presented to the superintendent's executive assistant. Instructions for submitting remote public comments can be found on our website, busdk12.com, under the tab Board of Trustees. The board has a policy limiting any speaker to not more than 3 minutes. The board limits the total time for public input on each item or topic to 15 minutes or 5 individual requests to speak. The president may review the submitted request to speak or take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Citizens who have comments on or against a particular issue may be asked to provide a written statement for the record or to sign an agreement with the written comments of another citizen. All names will be memorialized in minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and number of persons wishing to be heard. For the record, please state your name.
None at this time.
All right. Next, we'll go into reports. Staff reports, Williams, Q1, UCP reporting, July, August, September 2025.
Yes, Mr. Godfrey.
Yes, board, as mentioned in the September 23rd board meeting, this is the second of 6 opportunities for me to present information as it relates to the Williams settlement. This is the first quarter report. around uniform complaint report summary from Superintendent at Seminole County Superintendent of Schools. As you remember, on September 23rd, we reviewed instructional materials, facilities, and teacher vacancies and misassignments. I'm happy to report with our first quarter, there are 0 complaints in any of these areas.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, anybody?
0.
Yep. Good to see you. Thank you. Next, we have the superintendent's report.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, board members, staff, and guests. I hope everyone had a restful 3-day weekend as we recognize Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day is celebrated to commemorate Christopher Columbus's arrival in the Americas on October 12, 1492. It was traditionally viewed as a celebration of exploration and discovery. Indigenous Peoples Day is observed to honor and recognize the history, culture, and contributions of Native American peoples. It also serves as a response to the negative impact of European colonization on indigenous communities. Many people view Indigenous Peoples Day as a reminder to acknowledge and respect Native American heritage and history. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the members of Barstow Community College, Barstow Unified School District, and the K-16 Collaborative Teacher Pathway Program for their generous support in presenting 18 of our teachers with a $500 teacher supplies grant. On Wednesday, September 24th, we embarked on a special journey traveling in vans to surprise and honor these dedicated educators. Jessica Gonzalez, who was a former BUSD health assistant, now a teacher at Barstow High School. Laura Mitchell, Barstow High School graduate and former BUSD paraeducator, now a teacher at Barstow High School. Robert Sheldon, Barstow High School graduate and welding instructor at Barstow High School. Kyrielle Butler, former BUSD paraeducator, now a teacher at Barstow Junior High School. Tina Carney, former BUSD paraeducator, now a teacher at Barstow Junior High School. Ella LaVachant, Barstow High School graduate, now teaching at Barstow STEM Academy. Myra Miranda, Barstow High School graduate, now teaching at Barstow STEM Academy. Rose Iniguez, BCC graduate, now a teacher at Barstow STEM Academy. Tammy Rudd, former BUSD paraeducator, now a teacher at Barstow Intermediate School. Alicia Mayo, Barstow High School graduate, former BUSD paraeducator, now teacher at Cameron Elementary. Renita Weaver Taylor, former BUSD paraeducator, now teaching at Cameron Elementary. Halisa Harper, BCC graduate, now a teacher at Crestline Elementary. Crystal Packer, former BUSD paraeducator, now at Crestline Elementary. Madison Duffy, Barstow High School and BCC graduate, now at Henderson Elementary. Brandon Flannery, former BUSD paraeducator, now at Lenwood Elementary. Amber Joyce, Barstow High School, Barstow Community College, and CSUSB graduate, now teaching at Montera Elementary. Jalen Santos, Barstow High School graduate, now at Skyline North Elementary. And Randy Crank, Barstow High School graduate, former BUSD paraeducator, now at Barstow Fine Arts Academy. A special thank you to Director Carrie O'Neill and to the following members of the K-16 Collaborative Teacher Pathway Program, whose dedication and collaboration make this initiative possible. From Cal State San Bernardino, Thomas Long and Angela Macias. Barstow Community College, Jennifer Rodden, Michelle Burnt, Laura Alvarado, Elena Rivera, Heather Bradford, Deborah Harris, Sarah, Rochelle Himmelreich, and William Paul. Sorry to Sarah, I thought my name was bad. From Baker Valley, Michael Esposito. From BUSD, Ms. Holly Bowser. The K-16 Collaborative Teacher Pathway Program is a vital initiative aimed at addressing the teacher shortage in our region by cultivating and sustain a sustainable homegrown pipeline of educators. As part of a larger state-funded effort, this program is designed to create streamlined career education pathways under the umbrella of the Inland Empire Regional K-16 Education Collaborative, which prioritizes the education sector as a key pathway. Thank you for all your commitment to inspiring and supporting our future educators. On September 25th, I had the opportunity to participate in a site visit alongside board members Leonard Williams and Elizabeth Gibbons, as well as BUSD Outreach Liaison Ruth Sandoval.
Sandoval, and I believe Dr. Williams was with us as well, to the San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools Whole Child Collaborative. The session underscored the vital role of community partnership in addressing the social determinants of health that influence our students and families. A highlight of the event was the presentation on COAST, Community Outreach and Support Team, a multidisciplinary outreach initiative serving Rancho Cucamonga and the Inland Empire. COAST provides crisis response, facilitates connections to behavioral health and housing services, and offers real-time resources that support both families and schools. Additionally, Lynn Kennedy, pro temp mayor of Rancho Cucamonga, shared inspiring insights on youth leadership through the Healthy RC Peer Leader Program, which empowers middle and high school students to champion healthy living and civic engagement. The SBCSS Whole Child Collaborative is a district-wide effort dedicated to fostering a comprehensive, student-centered approach to education. Its primary focus is on addressing all aspects of a child's well-being, academic, social, emotional, physical, and mental health, to promote well-rounded development and improve educational outcomes by uniting schools, educators, families, and community organizations, and mental health professionals. The initiative strives to create a supportive environment that enables the students to flourish both academically and personally. During the session, we gained valuable insights into how strengthening social and community context and neighborhood and built environment can significantly reduce chronic absenteeism, improve student mental health, and foster stronger connections between schools and communities. That's a mouthful. I want to thank Ms. Hilton at Barstow Intermediate School and her 6th grade class for inviting me to Wonka Day, a celebration of their completion of the book Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was great to see all the fun the kids were having and enjoy some sweet treats as well, because what would Wonka Day be without candy? No. On September 30th, I attended the Center for Teacher Initiative, CTI, orientation at Los Domingos, hosted by William Brown from the Riverside County Office of Education. The session was designed for both Year 1 and Year 2 candidates in the program. This year, there are a total of 40 candidates and 27 coaches supporting teachers who are in the preliminary credentialing process as they work toward credential clearance. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to Ms. Monique Hodge, Executive Assistant to Personnel Services, and Mr. Jorge Gutierrez for their dedicated efforts in managing and supporting this vital program. Their commitment is instrumental in the successful growth of the CTI year after year, and we are pleased to see its continued expansion supporting our newest educators. On October 2nd, the board hosted its second governance workshop focused on leveraging local nonprofit organizations for enhanced community outreach. During the session, Barstow Community College President Dr. Eva Bag offered valuable insights, including innovative strategies for expanding the team to better inform the community about the programs and services offered by both the college and Barstow Unified School District. Moving forward, the group will concentrate on establishing clear objectives and goals to guide their efforts. The next workshop is scheduled for November 4th. It says November 2nd, but I'm pretty sure it's November 4th. Oh. November 4th, right, Mr. Williams. On October 6th, board members Leonard Williams and Anthony Eastlis accompanied me on the Barstow High School CTE field trip to the Rio Tinto manufacturing tour in Boron, California. The 16 Barstow High School students, along with Barstow High School CTE teacher Mr. Sheldon and Ms. Bowser, were able to gain insight on the many career opportunities available to students after graduation. And on October 10th, Mr. Beaton, Mr. Godfrey, and I attended the 2026-2027 LCAP kickoff, a guide to successful planning event in Rancho Cucamonga. Yes, we were already looking at 2026-2027. On October 16 at 10:16 a.m., BUSD will participate in the Great California Shakeout Earthquake Drill. The core of the drill is practicing the life-saving action that everyone should take immediately when the ground begins to shake. Drop to the ground before the earthquake drops you. Cover your head and neck with one arm and crawl under a sturdy desk or table for shelter. Hold on to your shelter until the shaking stops. If there is no shelter nearby, crawl next to an interior wall and cover your head and neck with both hands. Finally, on October 23rd at 6:00 p.m., district staff will attend the California Seal of Biliteracy Awards ceremony at Oak Hills High School. This event recognizes students who have met the full criteria by the end of their senior year. Currently, 14 students are slated to be recognized are slated to be recognized for achieving proficiency in both English and a second language. So far, students have demonstrated proficiency in Spanish, Tagalog, and Telugu, and Arabic in some cases, with additional testing in Arabic underway. By the end of the year, we anticipate that up to 30 students will earn the seal. This recognition is part of the statewide seal of biliteracy initiative spearheaded by Ted Alejandre. It highlights the valuable bilingual skills our students develop and celebrates their linguistic and cultural achievements, which leads to light bulb moments as they travel through their academic journey with BUSD. That's my report.
Wow.
Thank you.
A lot of information there.
Next, we have board reports. Mr. Williams.
Well, the superintendent covered everything. The whole child collaborative meeting down in Rancho was very good. I took back what I thought we could use. Some of the things I don't think we have the infrastructure within, not just the BUSD, but the city in general, to work together on it. But it was very good. I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy the Rio Tinto tour. Gave the young kids an opportunity to see what's out there for them. And that's always a good thing. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I really enjoyed giving the $500 grants away to the teachers because they were so surprised. They really were so surprised that they were getting it. And even their classes were excited for them. So that was a lot of fun to do. I did a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't remember what they are. But it seemed like a long time since we had a last board meeting, I should say.
I think it's been an extra week.
Yeah. But other than that, that's really all I have. And thank you for Cameron. I thought that was amazing. I really enjoyed that. I wrote a bunch of stuff down.
And I think we still have a Cameron student who
Yeah.
presented out here in
Yeah.
the audience.
Thank you very much for that briefing.
Well done.
And to all the PBIS awardees, that was fantastic. So, yeah, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Eustace?
Yes, sir. First, I'd like to say happy Hispanic Heritage Month to everybody. And we're a proud people, and we've had a lot of war heroes and somebody that formed the union for the farm workers. And we've got people like Mr. Ray Perea that would join the Army during the Vietnam War. They were willing to give up their tomorrows for our country. In fact, Mr. Espinosa was one of the first Barstow people killed during World War II. He lived on 6th Street and White Street. There we had a POW from Barstow, Mr. Villafana, during the Korean conflict. And also, I'd like to congratulate the players, the football players for Barstow for the Axe game the other day. And it was a pretty cold night, and it was nice to see them come back. Victorville came out swinging, and me, Mr. Dr. Williams were sitting on the sidelines over there, and I told him, I said, they don't score here, that they're done, and they didn't score, and they were done. And me and Ms. Priya, we participated in the Axe game. It's a very big game. It's the people, our community, take it very seriously. I can remember back when I was coaching in '99, they had lost 23 games in a row, Victorville, and we were 7-1. We went into the game, and they beat us 32-10. So anything can happen in that game. You know what I mean? And the Victorville people, they say it's not a rivalry because they got Apple Valley and stuff. it's only a rivalry to them when they win. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And I went to a JV football game, a couple of them. Just like you said, it's been a long time since we had a last meeting. I went to a volleyball game, a JV volleyball game at the high school. The girls were really intense. They were really into it. You know, it's awesome to see kids like that. You know, it's really rewarding. Also went to the car show Saturday, and Mr. Williams was there. He was sitting in the shade, drinking his lemonade. He was happy. He looked like a pig in mud over there. He was happy as heck, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And another thing, this is a plea to the public. You know, our classified, certified employees, you know, they try their best. You know what I mean? And when someone from the public comes and jumps down someone's throat, it's really not that good, you know, and it doesn't look good, you know. As a lead custodian, I can remember, and a custodian, parents would come when they lost their clarinet, you know, and be yelling at me and stuff. You know, it's part of the job. I know it's part of the job, you know, but it's just, you know, just have some class when you approach one of our employees. You know, I'm a big employee guy. I was one, and I still feel like I'm part of the employees, you know, and it just saddens me when somebody just gets down to their throat. You know, it just, there's nothing I can do but fume and, you know, get really kind of mad about it. And you know, and then other employees, you know, just stay in your lane, you know, worry about yourself. Don't worry about the guy next door or the teacher or the custodian or the vice, you know, just do your job, you know, stay in your lane. You'll be a whole lot happier person. You know, I visit the shop class for my second time, and Mr. Shelton, you know, he's just an awesome guy, just an awesome kid. You know, I seen him in high school. I seen him go all through his training and stuff. We're at Moron, and he really he knew everybody there. I thought that was a very good trip to the kids. You know, it was an eye opener for them. You know, they're very blunt about employment. You know, they told them to think on their own feet. They also told them if your message is full or it's not set up, they're not going to call you again. They've mentioned that 3 or 4 times. They just won't, you know. And they got good paying jobs up there. It was a nice trip, you know. We went. It was even nice that they fed us a little Subway sandwich afterwards. I really liked that a lot. And but anyhow, I believe in the CTE. You know, that it's coming along real good. They're going to have a barber class next year, I believe, that they were saying that, and we have a wood shop down there at Central High School that's unused. I like to see that, you know, utilized some way. Just like we said before, that not everybody is going to go to a 4-year school. You know, a lot of kids in Barstow aren't, you know, and when we visited the class at the shop up there at the welding class, those kids were awesome. You know, I talked to a handful of them, and, you know, they were just ready, you know, and Mr. Shelton, he's just interacts with them so good. You know, he's just a awesome teacher, and I'm glad we have him. And really, that's all I have to say. And congratulate the players again for the victory of the Axe game. That was a big game, and mostly for the seniors, you know. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fred?
Well, I'd like to congratulate all the PBIS recipients, Cameron Elementary for their presentation. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Just wanted to echo a lot of what the other trustees have already said. You know,
I always love, I'll say it every single time, but I love having the kids here. It's just the best reminder of why we're doing what we're doing. Also, congratulations on the Axe game. I do know how much it means to everybody in the community. So good job. Also for PBIS, I know that's a lot of hard work. So we do appreciate it, all the hard work that everybody puts in, and it shows. And also with, CCE, I think it was eye-opening. We've definitely all heard, different parts of that. But seeing it all and being said out loud, I do think makes it a little bit more real. But I do agree with a lot of what she said. I do think that a lot of those ideas, are in the room. And I really look forward to what comes out of the DTA team and the ideas that everybody has. I'm super looking forward to seeing and hearing what those ideas are and getting them implemented in the district. Next, we have the student representatives report. Do we have? Nope. All right, no students today. Then we'll do the representatives reports. BEA.
Board. I want to begin tonight by sharing a deeply troubling incident that took place just last week. At one of our schools, 2 first-grade students completely destroyed a teacher's classroom, flipping over numerous desks, several chairs, screaming, laughing, and making threats like, "I'll wreck this whole place." They shouted inappropriate language at adults and showed complete disregard for authority. The aftermath of that destruction left the classroom in chaos, a heartbreaking and traumatic sight for both the teacher and the student who had to return to the class the same day. This kind of violent behavior has a dramatic impact on our educators and our children. Teachers are expected to maintain calm and safety in an environment that at times feels completely unsupported. We brought these concerns about violent student behavior to this very board last year, yet no concrete solution have been put in place. I personally sent an email requesting immediate district level intervention as soon as I heard about the incident. The only response I received was, "Dear Miss Lawhorn Lewis, thank you for communicating this concern. I will follow up with the school site to gain additional insight and supports. I will contact you soon." That message was sent, yet no one yet from this district has followed up with BEA on what, if anything, is going to be done. We were informed by our own members that no suspensions were given and that one of the students involved is transferring to another Barstow school. I'm asking that the receiving teacher of the student be fully informed of the behavior issues and that proper supports be put in place before that child enters a new classroom. Our teachers deserve to be protected, not blindsided. And this is not the only issue being ignored. Once again, our district has failed to pay our teachers on time. There are still 13 unpaid time cards from Montero last school year, as well as unpaid time cards from the high school this year, including the new teachers training and home hospital teachers. We don't care the excuse this time. The district always has one. What we care about is accountability. Our educators should not have to beg to be paid for the work they've already done. Finally, I'd like to revisit another longstanding concern, which is the solar panels. Only one of our schools currently has working solar panels. Across the district, these panels have taken up space for years, sitting broken, unused, stripped of wiring. We were told that these panels would save us money and help schools, but instead, they've done neither. Every day they sit idle, our schools lose opportunities to reinvest those savings into teachers, students, and classrooms. So tonight I ask this board, when will these issues be taken serious? When will we see real action? Not just promises or words. Our students, our teachers, and our community deserve better. It's time for accountability, transparency, and meaningful change. And to those of you who have asked me to be positive, I ask, how can our membership be positive when changes are not being made, when broken promises continue, and when our teachers and students are forced to endure destroyed classrooms and major disruptions? Positivity cannot replace responsibility. We need action.
Thank you. DSCA.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you all had a good 3-day weekend. We just have a few updates today. Our CSEA negotiations team is looking forward to beginning contract negotiations with the district team. We do have some tentative dates scheduled starting next week. So we're hoping to hopefully over the next day or so be able to confirm those dates. Earlier today, we had a membership blitz, and we are pleased to share that we had 4 new members that signed up today to join our union. This year, we have several of our board positions that are up for re-election. So we have our president, secretary, and sergeant at arms positions that are up for election this year. We'll be doing nominations now in October and November, with voting taking place in December. And also we're going to begin planning our end of year celebration with the goal of creating a fun and enjoyable event for our members to come together, connect, and celebrate their hard work. Also, I do want to give just a little shout out to Mr. Dominguez. We had an issue that came up with Montera, had like no water, and we had a member reach out to us about a custodian, a night custodian. And so I called over to Montera, got all the information, and he followed back with me pretty swiftly and, got this situation handled. So I just want to give a little shout out to Mr. Dominguez for getting back with me and taking care of the issue that had been brought up with us. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Personnel Commission?
Walk a little bit here. All right. Good evening, board members, staff, and distinguished guests. This is the report from the Personnel Commission. We currently have 2 interviews in process. We have 3 recruitments that are in the testing stage and 2 recruitments that are currently open. Our statistics are we have 363 classified employees, 163 8-hour full-time, 119 benefited part-time, and 81 non-benefited part-time. And as always, we have our classified management employees. We have 17 of those. With the classifications in security, we have no vacancies. Safety, no vacancies. We fill those positions. Custodial, we have 2 newly established positions, champions, custodians. We're still working on filling those vacancies. Currently, our priority is to fill the para position TKs. So tomorrow we will be conducting interviews here in this room. We're screening about 30 candidates and trying to fill all those positions. So that is our goal for tomorrow. What else do we have? We conducted the Director of Facilities Maintenance and Operations recruitment. Had a selection interview, offer was made, and we're currently onboarding the candidate. The next board meeting will have further information, probably an announcement and an official board item. What else do we have for you? We have completed the Nutrition Services Worker 1 interviews. Those individuals are all being onboarded and processed as we speak. I have one more comment on the paraeducators. We reopened that recruitment because we need so many of them. We start out with 100, and it's like inverse pyramid, right? We end up with 20 at the end of the process, give or take. We opened again, and I can report that we currently have another 100, so we'll be able to squeeze another 20 out of that, and we'll keep chugging along until we can fill those positions. We're using the online services to advertise our positions, so we're posting all over the place. So that's been working to drive a lot of traffic to our EdJoin application to get us more candidates. We also have the Nutrition Services Operations Manager, the position that you approved, that is open. We'll close next week on the 23rd. We currently have 19 applicants, and we'll expect to get a few more out of those. We've seen some very worthy candidates in that group. For note duties, we've been processing a lot of applications. We started out with 34 applicants, so we're processing through all those applications to get those individuals onboarded. We're also onboarding some substitute paras, and nutrition service workers. So there's always a big need for those. And I will be attending a job fair with the Barstow at the Harvey House next week on the 23rd. So we'll be trying to recruit some individuals there at that time. And our next Personnel Commission meeting in this room, Thursday, November 13th at 4:30 p.m. And that is the report for the Personnel Commission.
Questions?
So the sublist for the custodians, you have a sublist.
Yes.
You have an established sublist. So someone calls in at the high school, the custodian, is somebody getting called to replace those kids, those workers?
They're being called. However, individuals are not picking up the jobs. And it depends on the site. Some individuals only accept certain sites, not all. Some only accept certain shifts, not all, because they have other jobs or they're going to school and they have other reasons why they don't pick up the shifts. What I have been working on is on advertising with current employees to in order for them to accept either extra time or overtime. If we do have somebody that's out, to try to reach out to them to see if they can fill up those hours that are, when people are out.
So are you working on getting more candidates for the sub, list, or are we just going to leave it as where we're going at right now?
Our custodial list did expire, so we have two options. We can either extend the list and try to bring some more people out of the list that currently exists. It's a large list, so there is still a lot of candidates. Or we have to recruit, test, and go through that process, which would take longer. I believe the direction we're going to go is probably extend it. Our next meeting is in November, so we'll do that then, and then try to reach out to see if we can get more. We are going to be hiring some more custodians. There's more opportunities there for jobs anyway, so we'll try to dip into that list to bring them back out. Yes, and we can look for some more subs out of that list.
Thank you.
With the paras, is that just paras or is that list para and SN or?
For para SN, we're currently open. We extended that recruitment another 10 days. We have 59 applicants in that currently. In the same way, we're driving a lot of traffic to that particular recruitment because the need is great and our applicant pool is low. So there's not a lot of people that take that application. Your question though is for TK Paras, the same list for TK Paras is the one that we use for general ed paras, so the other paraprofessionals. However, the priority right now is to fill the para TKs, which is what we're doing tomorrow. The next step after that is to fill the rest of the paraeducator positions, general ed, paraeducator positions that are out there. This was the highest priority, so we're going for that first.
So paras, the 100 that was mentioned, that's for all of paras, but primarily we're focusing on TK, then general ed, and then that 59 is separate. So 159 total candidates, at least at this point, between all of the para positions.
Our current list, merged list, has 60 candidates. The 100 are separate from that, but out of those 100, we may get 30. So that'll bring us up to about 90 for general ed. And then for the para SN is 59, 60. We may gain another 10 in the next week. So it'll get us to about 70. However, the end product out of that, it'll be about 20%. So should be about 15 to 17 candidates at that point.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the motion to adopt the agenda. Can I get a motion?
So
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
right, next we have the consent agenda. Does anybody have any items they would like to pull?
No, sir.
I have K27, the project lead, and A47, the facilities masters, facility master. Can I get a motion to approve with items pulled?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, first is K27. This is the consultant agreement project lead the way Barstow STEM Academy.
Yes, Mr. Godfrey.
Yes, there's an initiative at Barstow STEM Academy to create CTE pathways for their grades 5 through 8. And in an effort to do that, they have been searching for curriculum that'll support the work that they're trying to do with students. And they landed on Project Lead the Way. What we're requesting is to enter an agreement with them to both train our teachers on curriculum and get access to both digital and hard copy curriculum. The curriculum will span across all 4 grade levels. Grades 5 and 6 is what they call Foundation of Design. It's design and modeling. Students learn the engineering design process from brainstorming to prototyping. When they get to grade 7, it's titled Exploring Systems and Code. This includes automation and robotics, medical detectives, and magic of electrons and app creators. And then finally with grade 8, it's real world application. So kind of a culmination of the learning throughout the first 3 years. Challenges to students to tackle complex real world problems by applying their skills to advanced topics like aerospace and sustainable design. They'll engage in flight and space exploratory concepts, designing, building, and testing airfoils and rockets, and also green architecture, focusing on sustainable design, designing environmentally friendly structures, considering building materials, energy efficiency, and site planning. Prior to bringing this to the board, I met with the teachers at STEM along with principal to talk about the vision moving forward. And they are very excited to not only get access to this curriculum, but make it Barstow STEM Academy centric. So they're going to try and touch all 4 aspects of STEM: science, technology, engineering, and math. Each of the teachers that we've hired have a lot of energy and passion for their subject matter. And they're going to take the concepts in the STEM curriculum and make it their own and use student voices to create that.
Questions? I'm guessing these classes in particular will be filling in like elective spots, I'm guessing.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's part of the overall initiative to increase the student body size at STEM Academy, adding 33 students each year. We're in year 2 of that phase, so that by the time we get to year 4, we'll have 100 and what's the math there? 33 times 4.
Yeah.
What is that?
But-
132?
20 plus 12, yeah, 130. Yeah.
132.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Increasing the size of our STEM population.
Yeah.
And the overall initiative is to connect to the STEM pathways at Barstow High School and create more robust activities for students so that eventually we'll be producing more engineers, more doctors, more nurses, more biologists, so on and so forth.
And this, what we're actually approving is the curriculum and the training? Is that what this portion is? What we
Right now, it's primarily training.
Okay.
They're going to get access to the curriculum and start working on building units of study.
Okay.
You'll see in a couple of months, because right now they're engaging in creating that. And a new course outlines will come to you in a couple of months, which is what we'll ask you to approve as well.
Thank you. All right. Nobody else has any? Oh, and just on comment side, I think it's great. I was kind of looking at a little bit of the information you guys had in there, so I think it's exciting for the kids. Good opportunity. So thank you.
Great, thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve?
No move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And the other was 347. the Facilities Master Plan Services Agreement with DC Architects.
Yes, Mr. Beaton.
Yes, thank you. So we had a request for proposal RFP 26-001. It's published in all circulating newspapers in the high desert of April 20th, 2025, and April 27th, 2025. The proposal deadline on May 13th, 2025 at 2 p.m. On the proposal deadline of May 13th, 2025, 7 proposals were received and open. The district committee then evaluated the 7 proposals and recommended 4 firms. Of those 4 firms, DC Architects was found to be the lowest, most responsible qualified proposal. Based on the described scope of the work within the attached service agreement, DC Architects' base fee for the facilities master plan is a lump sum fee of $137,500. And we're recommending approval.
I was just curious if inside of there that we had any project timeline, or if you've had any discussions with them as far as when we're looking, as like a rough idea for completion of the facilities master. I know it's comprehensive, but
Absolutely, but we're I'm also interested in that. So right now we're looking at 10 to 12 weeks, so that put us at the end of the January.
Okay.
Mostly because site visits will have to be done. We'll have to do a demographic study. Also with the BNSF project, we might have to do a plan A, plan B to see, or do another facilities master plan after it's approved after 2 years. So we're still going through that process. And plus we have the holidays too, so they take a break too. But I did speak to him. He said we can wrap it up if we'd like, but I would think we would want a more accurate, thorough proposal if we wait till the end of January, and that's what we'll get. So.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, when I looked at this and I looked at the exclusions on this contract, they were talking about, and it just popped in my head, topographical surveys. Well, if you're gonna build a new site, you would do that, not necessarily if you're looking at the existing site and doing the master plan. Got it. I answered my own question.
Okay. I like when that happens.
Yeah, as soon as I said that, I was like, oh yeah, I've got that down. So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. No other questions? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll move on to discussion items. First, general L11 SBCSS agreement number 2526-0441, superintendent's advisor.
Yes, this is the continuation of the contract agreement that we have with San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools to provide superintendent's advisor to work with both the superintendent and the board of trustees. You know that as Jan Gonzalez and Dick Bray. So this contract would be to continue that work with them. That includes coaching and advising the superintendent, facilitate the board's informal evaluation of the superintendent, facilitate the board's formal evaluation of the superintendent, facilitate the board's self-evaluation process, and provide a report to the board on survey results and possible recommendations, and provide workshops to the board on effective governance and any other topics based on the board's self-evaluation results and or the request of the board and or superintendent. And again, this is the work that we've been doing with San Bernardino County Superintendents of Schools, Jan Gonzalez and Dick Bray, and that this is the work that we continue to do. We just finished up our vision and mission statements and are now working on the governance handbook. So this will continue that work and is provided to the board for approval.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Yeah, look forward to getting everything
Continue
wrapped up. Yeah,
Yeah.
getting the work done. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next we have business services, L41 purchase order listing, September 16th, 2025 to October 6th, 2025.
Yes, Mr. Beaton.
Thank you again. The district is recommending that the board approve the 165 purchase orders listed in the attached purchase order board report totaling $12,912,402.31.
Anyone have any questions on any line items, comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
No move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have Personnel Services, certificated L6A1, public hearing for provisional intern permits or PIPs for educators for the 25-26 school year, recommending the Board of Trustees adjourn to a public hearing to provide an opportunity for the board to receive input concerning the proposed provisional intern PIPs, permits or PIPs. It is 5:39. Or 6:39. Sorry. I was looking at the seconds and thinking on the 50s, but yeah, 6:39, excuse me. All right, and it is 6:40 and we will reconvene. Following a public hearing, recommend that the Board of Trustees approve the submission to the state of said permits pertaining to the California teaching credential requirements. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is the L6A2, employment of certificated contract personnel for the 25-26 school year.
Yes, and in Mr. Gutierrez's absence, this is the staff member that you just approved the PIP for, same Dolores Rodriguez, and she's being presented to the board tonight for approval as a certificated contract personnel.
Questions,
You better
comments?
hire
Yep. All right, can I get a motion to approve?
her. I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is classified L6B1, request for reduction of hours of classified personnel.
Yes, and I can address this item. So we have a school administrative manager by the name of Ariel Vera. He works at Montera Elementary School. And Mr. Vera, as well as his principal, Mr. Dominguez, met with me several weeks ago. Mr. Vera is working on his education. And in order to continue working on his degree, he has to be in school on certain days at certain times. And in order to make it to Cal State San Bernardino in time, he has to leave at what would still be during his current contractual hours. And so in meeting with me, he requested that we come up with some way of adjusting his hours. And in that discussion, it really wasn't going to work out for him because he would end up having to leave Barstow at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, drive to CSUSB, be in school for several hours, and then drive back and be back here at like 9 o'clock in the evening and work until 11, and then be back at it at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. And it just, in all the things that we tried to do in order for him to maintain his 8 hours per day, we just could not come up with a schedule that would be convenient for Barstow Unified School District as well as Mr. Vera. So in order to support Mr. Vera, and this request comes with the support of Mr. Dominguez as well. Mr. Vera has asked for a reduction of his hours in order to continue his education and to be able to be in class on time. Mr. Vera is an excellent employee. He's been doing an amazing job as Sam at Montera. Mr. Dominguez is highly supportive of his work as Sam, as well as his work on his education, and is completely supportive of this reduction in hours and feels like it is the best thing for Mr. Vera, as well as the best thing for Barstow Unified School District. We believe that Mr. Vera will continue working for Barstow Unified School District, continue to expand on his possibilities with Barstow Unified School District, as we provide him this support in order for him to finish his education, and is provided to the board for approval.
Questions, comments?
Works for me.
Can I get a motion to approve?
I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is L6B2, increase in work hours of classified positions, 2 paraeducators and 1 health assistant.
And I know that Mrs. Hodge is over there and Mr. Gutierrez provided her all the information. I'm gonna try to wing this one because this one I don't have a lot of information on. But basically, it looks to me like all good things. We are increasing the hours of paraeducator SN at Barstow Junior High School from 6 hours to 7. Paraeducator ELL at Skyline Elementary from 3.5 to 6 hours. And a health assistant pupil services from 6.5 to 7 hours per day. As the board is aware, staffing has been a challenge for Barstow Unified School District, and one of the ways we've been trying to tackle that challenge is by increasing the hours of certain positions to motivate and inspire staff to stay with Barstow Unified School District by providing them additional hours. And this also obviously supports the school sites that these positions are at. The financial implications are listed here on the agenda item, and this is provided to the board for approval tonight. Ms. Hodge, did I do well enough?
I'm actually going to, good evening, board members. Monique Hodge, Executive Assistant to Mr. Jorge Gutierrez. I'm actually going to defer this to Mr. Ortiz. I think he knows a little bit more information than what I do. So my apologies.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Ortiz. Did I do well?
You did well.
Yes. Did I miss anything?
No, just in addition, this is also in accordance with the classified employee contract is Article 8.4. It was triggered by a 20-day rule, so that's why the increase in hours has to occur. That's why it's being brought to you for.
Questions, comments?
Let's do it.
I was just curious if from part-time to full-time, and whenever we talk about all of that switch over, where exactly is the line that, as far as how many hours then makes that delineation? Is it 3.5? Once you go from 3.5 to 4?
4 hours is where you become benefited. So that would be considered full-time.
Okay.
4 hours.
Yeah, I think it's good. And yeah, thank you
And
for
we
the
have two
staff
that are,
for
we have two that are
stepping
already
up. So
past that. So might as well get a little bit more time from them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Benefits them, benefits us.
sounds good to me. Can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anybody have any items for future meetings?
Yes, we probably do need to get a briefing on the solar panels.
I have, yes, I have that for you for Friday report. It will be in Friday report. Thank
Got
you very much. I meant to get that to you last Friday and we ran into some technical difficulties. So it will be on this Friday report.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome.
And I did have something for closed session to
Okay.
go back to a second. Shouldn't take too long, but did want to touch on something.
Okay. No worries.
Is everybody else good? All right. Well, it's 6:47. We'll adjourn for a second closed session. All right. It is 7:25 and we are back from closed session. The board did not take action on any items in closed session. And can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. 7:26, meeting adjourned.
Vamos.
Thank you.
You're welcome.